Alrighty team, welcome. Hope we are all doing well on this fine day. Welcome to another edition of the London stream. Big day today, CPI for the pound to come shortly. So see what happens at the back of that. Obviously for the pound. Otherwise, let's get the show on the road, guys. Always good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget to hit that like button away in YouTube and TikTok, smash that screen for us. I do actually have a buy stop set just above the current candle's high. On gold, we've just broken the resistance, so we're just about to be triggered in by the looks of it actually. So I've got the order set at 3315.87 is where I've actually got the order set. 3315.87. I want it to be triggered in before the last few minutes of the candle. It's based off the fact that we are performing very strong bullish. We have just broken the resistance, nice strong approach, a lot of volume. We have popped up at the open of this candle, and then we pop back down to create a lower wick. So if we break our own high again, I'm looking to take an entry. So I'm not in just yet. So once again, entry I've got set for 3315.87. And that's what I'm currently looking at. So I'll do the top down analysis shortly. Just wanted to let you guys know. But it does come down to the last 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna have to remove the order and just wait for the hourly to close. Whoops, almost closed my MetaTrader without realizing. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently looking at, and we'll see. And I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, ladies and gents. So looking at gold, to begin, caught a really cracking trade earlier today. I mentioned it in the members group. I've just been triggered in, guys, so let's see. Haven't even done the analysis just yet, but currently running this trade at the minute. So let's see. Following along. Not an easy one to manage, seeing it is based off the entry candle, but we'll see how it goes. No slippage, which is always good. If it flips back bearish, that's where I'll probably just cut the whole thing, because that point will likely reject in coming towards the closure of the candle. So that would probably be my plan. And it's just currently in a few pip profit. Now I want it to play out again before the last few minutes, because likely what's going to happen is price is going to pull back to leave an upper wick, and I don't want to get caught out in that pullback and then a new candle opening up to create lower wick, pulling me further into drawdown. So I want to get to break even quite quickly on this one. There we go, we've got 9 pips on the table. I'm at break even. All right, I'm gonna close half at 12. I've just closed half at 12, guys. I'm gonna let the rest run. That's a quick early win to begin proceedings, so well done if anyone is in it. Again, just bear in mind, guys, we are coming to the closure of the hourly, also the 4 hour, so there is a very high probability that it's going to pull back to leave an upper wick, so I don't want to get caught out in that. Currently running 30 pips. Yep, running 30, just almost 30 just now. And what a day it's been, guys. This is a cracking day. I am having the best day for quite some time, to be honest. 33 pips on the table just now. I'm going to close another little partial. And I will say g'day to you all shortly. I promise. But that's how we roll, guys. And I did call it out in the members group prior to the stream, or as the stream was beginning. Called out all here, just realized it was playing out, so I gave the guys enough time to set it up, so I hope some of them took advantage of it. And well done. What a start, guys. Smash that like button, smash the screen, and we'll stick around. We'll see what else we can come up with, and we can finally do the analysis on gold, seeing I'm safely at break even. And that's how we roll, guys. 2-0 for today, myself, and a quick start to the stream. So let's start with gold. Anyway, guys, let's have a look. And once again, when everyone is calling for it to pull back to create that lower wick to fill that gap, what do you always hear me say? Guys, who remembers, what do I always say to you? Don't necessarily need to, so long as any pullback within this current candle is met by levels of support and price respects those levels, then what's likely going to happen is price is going to push back up to a resistance, and if it has the volume momentum push through that resistance, continue bullish, create the higher high, and so on and so forth. And that's exactly what it's been doing throughout the week. So once again, being proven right. On to the daily time frame, and what we've got is structure again, still technically bullish. We have a very strong catalyst on that previous candle, closing a very strong bullish candle. Current candle has a high low, higher high to the previous as well. Off the back of that, not quite, but almost tapping into a target here to the left, and my run has just been taken out, guys. So hence again why I want to get to break even pretty quickly, because we are coming to the closure of the 4 hour, the hourly. And yeah, so I think it was a really good idea to secure. I secured pretty much the whole thing by the end of it. So the 4 hour, onto the 4 hour, we are technically bullish in structure. It's bullish across the board. What I will do is mark in the most recent resistance. That point there, resistance, sorry, we have broken out of, so which could price, we want to see price has pulled back to retest it. So we can look for options to buy from that point there. I'm also going to mark in the most recent resistance that we are approaching to the left hand side. So it still looks like we've got some pretty clean traffic above the high. Once again, the 4 hour now, just pulling back to leave that upper wick. So hopefully you guys were following along and weren't being greedy. Doesn't mean it still can't continue up, but again, there's that concern that we are going to leave that upper wick, which we are looking like we are doing, and we're going to create a lower wick. At that point, the 4 hour's got to remember, guys, you got to let the 4 hour develop. There is a chance it could pull back a little bit further, especially seeing we are coming to a higher time of volume into EU Open, into London Open. So therefore, we could look for options upon that pullback to create support, form support, to take another option to the upside. Onto the 30-minute time frame. You can see we are just hopping above the most recent resistance. Now, the thing is, if we do confirm that higher high just here, the point of as to where structure will flip back bearish on a 30, which could provide our first potential catalyst to look for sell options, is this point here. So in the next minute and a bit, or just over 2 minutes, if price is to close above that point there, structure would flip below 32.9870. Now, let's just adjust this zone to the most recent price action. It lines up perfectly with that resistance here to the left, so we'll just focus on the most recent price action here. All right, so my plan on gold for the rest of today, there's no rush, guys. Already had a quick little scalp right at the very beginning. What I want to see is, I want to see price now pull back yet again to support, and I want to see price respect support. And if we do so around that 33.02, I'm going to again look for a price action catalyst for a potential option to buy it. So buys above that point there, 30, 15, depending on how we approach, and that would determine what time frame I want to see the support form on. Now, as for sell options, to be honest, guys, it's a hell of a lot cleaner below 32.75, and we are really forming very strong bullish. We've got daily counter probabilities to the upside. We've got the structure that buys bullish across the board. So really, the catalyst for me to sell it would be, first of all, allow the 30 to flip back bearish, allow the daily to break its own low, seeing it has a higher high, higher low, really has not much of a need to actually pull back and break its own low if it was to continue bullish. And if it did so, there's a higher probability we could make a deeper pullback. So for me, I'm likely just going to look for options to buy, guys. So to be honest, just a matter of where it pulls back to. So if it does pull back, even flipping the 30-minute structure back bearish, I would still look to buy it from the support here, 32.8160. So it buys above that point there. And once again, the sells for me a much better option below 32.7530. Now, continuation buyers will need to wait for a little bit more data to print. We'll consider it, but I need another signal. I need it to reset. So If you're not in it just now, you're gonna have to wait, unfortunately, in my opinion. Look, counter probabilities being to the upside. You've got the 4 hour just closing. It would make sense to continue bullish, seeing you've got clean traffic if it begun to break the high of the previous candle. But that being said, it's already just in a quick scalp, so I'm not going to jump straight back in unless it resets as to how I want it to see to close. So we have now confirmed a higher high. So now the structure would flip back bearish below this point here. Again, be a little bit hesitant to sell it below that point though, but we'll see anyway, guys. So that is gold. Hopefully that makes sense. How are we? Did anyone catch that buy? That was just absolutely picture perfect yet again. Yet again, the exact same scenario as what played out last Friday, guys, when we had candle opening up, pushing in the direction I wanted to get involved in a trade. Did not jump in FOMO, waited patiently for it to pull back to create the wick in the opposite direction. Set the buy stop back above the candle's high. Easy does it. Nice win. And if you're following along, you would have probably taken notice of that, and you could have taken advantage of it as well. So that is gold, guys. Now let's look at the GJ. Let's have a look at GJ, see what's going on. Don't forget, smash that like button. Wow, what a day this has been. Cracking day. All right, GJ. So on to the weekly time frame. And we are obviously, sorry, I just wanted to get rid of that little doodle. So we are forming bearish. We have low, high, low, low, bearish engulfing at the minute. Off the back of that, again, more likely to continue bearish, seeing we do have the counter probabilities being to the downside. This is marking the current weekly candle's low. It's again respecting resistance here at 194. Very tricky key level. Onto the daily time frame. Structure wise, we are bullish. Candle probabilities, again, it's a bit choppy, still stuck in this range, however, which is more evident on the 4 hour. We have now broken low of that previous daily candle. So if we begin to break the support here, which was formed on the Monday, I feel there's a high probability we could push to the downside. Again, this week, unfortunately, is a bit of choppy traffic though to the left on the minor time frame. But based off the higher time frame, so we do have the counter probabilities being to the downside. I think there's a higher chance of us continuing bearish if we begin to break this 4 hour support. All right, onto that time frame, and we are technically bearish in structure. As we can see, we're still not popped below the support formed at the beginning of the week. Let's just mark that in. Just to the left of that, we've got another level low, unfortunately. So again, it's going to be hard pressed to find margin to sell it below the support. That's the most recent resistance. Good news is, seeing we're at the support, if we have some sort of reason and some sort of catalyst, we could look for options to buy it as well. So the M30 is also still technically bearish the way I see it. So DJ, I would prefer to sell it. The bias is bearish. However, seeing we are 4 hour support, I would also have the potential option to buy it. Quickly go down to the 15. All right, just trying to see if we have any clean traffic at all to the upside. It's a little bit choppy. Let's just mark in this point here as a potential level. So I'm going to mark in that whole level, not necessarily to look for the buys, but potentially if price rejects it, I could look for an option to sell it, as long as I do have the margin to take it back down. Now the preference would be to sell it from higher up. The preference would be for it to pop up and perhaps reject that 193.50, the resistance a little bit higher up, but I'm just focused on the most recent level for now, and I want to see how price reacts to it. Look, if we do pop above it, we will weigh out options to buy it, but the likelihood is that we're not going to have the margin to do so. So we're likely going to focus more on the sells here today on GJ and just patiently await a catalyst. But GJ for the most part this week has been very difficult. It's just been stuck in his 4 hour range. From experience, when I see GJ stuck in a range like so, it's pretty much a write-off and I don't even bother with it. So that is my opinion of a GJ, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. The focus once again will be on gold. It's just rejecting just now, and that is fine because it is the open of the new hourly and 4 hour candle. Now I can take a breath, have a sip of the coffee, and welcome you all, one and all, to the stream. How are we, guys? Who took that gold trade? Who got involved in that gold trade right in the beginning? Put your hands up. And who followed along, wasn't being greedy, listened to my opinion of it and got out prior to the candle close and secured some profit? Let us know. Franco, morning to you. $2, $2. G'day to you. Kyle. Jesse Lewis, good day, mate. Hope you're well. I'm done for the week. Got an entry at 5 minute. Nice one. Closed at 311. 33.11. Good work. Good work. Well done. Yeah, could have been a decent option just here, to be honest, but I wasn't focused on charts at that point. Man, yep, give it a like, Franco. Assume you took it. That's great. Kyle, lovely trade. Got in early. Got stops in profit now. Time to get breakfast. Nice one, brother. Yeah, I got a trade earlier today. Again, I called it step for step in the VIP. Once again, just to let you guys know, it's not a signal service, but if I see something that's a cracking entry while I'm on the chart, I will let the guys know. Every trade I take is documented somewhere on this within the VIP. Or it'd be in the trade ideas section. That's where I try to document all or let the guys know. Obviously on stream, they go into the journal, which is a little bit lower down here, the trade journal section. But you guys get to the best of that on stream as well. And in the VIP chat today, I was around for what was a cracking entry. We had a really nice catalyst here, called it out, and it was based off more so the 30 and the 5 minute on gold at the time. So I had a resistance at this point here, and that obviously we can see the 30 minute closed above it. Just there within it, we had the 5 minute break, retest, and that was the closure. This candle just here, we managed to close above. Next, sorry, it was this candle here. And the next candle just ripped straight up and secured the bag in seconds. It was a cracking win. I had 90 odd pips on that one in the end. So that was the earlier trade. And obviously the one just at the beginning on stream. I'm up. Pretty penny for today. It's been a fantastic day. Sketchmas, early bird catch the worm. That's it. $2. That was quick. Yep. Phil C, good morning to you. $2 GJ, yep, just been over it. Lordy family, mind looking at JA. I'll have a look at it shortly. Jay Slick, g'day, mate. Didn't miss it. Oh, this morning, yeah. All good. There's going to be plenty of other opportunities to come. TikTok, I'll get to you guys shortly. I haven't forgotten you. Blaze Crypto Man, nice one. You got in as well. Tommy, morning to you. GU, so GA and GU. All right, I'll have a look at it shortly. Just give us a moment, guys. Oh, Jason, okay, so you got this one. Nice one. Good work. Perfect. Good work, my friend. Carl. Nice trade in Discord, mate. Smashed it. Thank you, Tommy. The chart sent in from Carl. Yeah, so you got in. That's the same, I think, entry. No, it's not. It's not. This was the entry I got in earlier. Nice one. Yeah, that entry is good, man. That's the one I would have also contemplated, but I wasn't on the chart for it. That is a nice trade. Good work. All right, TikTok. Smash like button, Ellie. Thank you for the sticker. Smash the screen, not like button. It's different on TikTok, isn't it? All right, let me skim through the chat. Good day to one and all. Thank you to all the new followers. Maxine, by now, that was probably a while back. So hopefully you took advantage of it. Makes sense, sorry. N54 to Swarm MM. First tap breakout. Okay. You appreciate the liquid. Okay. Bjorn, good morning to you. What is your state? Triple S. State is in where I live. Do you know what cycle are we in? I believe you don't. I have no idea what you're talking about, my friend. Maybe you should let me know and I will. Double K triple D1. Sorry about yesterday. No need to apologize. I'm not sure what you're apologizing for. Triple S, no idea. No, I have no idea what you're talking about, to be honest. Abdu BTC, yeah, look at it shortly. Boom, bum 47. Toshi, Bjorn, I did, so you took it. Nice one. Mihai was nice. Buy after liquid sweep. Not, I don't know how to take longs. Okay. Chris Moore to you. Zach Bear 1302. Hey bro, looking if closes above 33.19. Bias thoughts. Yep, not a bad option, especially if it does pause just here on the 15. That'd be a really nice option. Just wait patiently for a nice strong closure back above. A bullish engulfing would be really strong catalyst. Market A to you. Lazy Crypto Man noticed yesterday's daily closed above previous monthly closure. Might be heading back up, hopefully. I did it. So that's the daily. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yep, just above it. Yeah, possibly. It could be a bit of a catalyst to suggest it could be ready to head back up. Alright, so GA, let's take a look at this. Wow, friend over on the YouTube stream, and weekly higher low, we are forming bullish. Pretty choppy area though, price action on that time frame. At daily, broken and closed above a resistance here to the left. If we begin to break above the previous daily candles high off that particular time frame, high probability we could come up to 210, that sort of region. Structurally, it is bullish as well. We have bounced off the last significant higher low on the daily time frame over the last week or so. So again, that off the back of that, I feel it's a high probability it will end up back up towards the resistance here at 210. Onto the 4 hour, that appears to be still bearish. And okay, so that's where got a little bit of a conflicting story here, because the 4 hour has just retested and rejected the last significant lower high, and it does remain bearish in structure. So therefore, we do remain below this point here, then perhaps we could pull back and come back down towards the 4 hour support again at 206.858. So it's a bit of an arm wrestle between the time frames here, on the daily and the 4 hour. Above the daily high, the previous daily candles high though, again clean traffic to the left up towards that 209.50, 209.60. Structurally, again, it is bearish. 30-minute, the way I see it, it's also bearish. So all right, GA, if it respects these wicks, it will remain bearish in structure on the M30. So what I would do is I would just adjust this zone. I would draw in another zone. I'd probably have a zone there. We do have clean traffic above it. I'd draw in another zone at the highs here, and your catalyst to begin to look for the buy options. All right, we can adjust it. It's not the highest point of any bearish candle. That point is closure above 208.641. That point, excuse me, you're going to flip the structure back bullish on the M30 time frame. You would have had the confirmation. So I've been waiting for the closure above into clean traffic. High probability we're coming back up to that previous daily candles high, where you could also potentially get involved in further buy options. Otherwise, we are approaching again a bit of a minor support here to the left. Actually, however, we are pulling back, so I'd be looking for rejection of that 208.60 and awaiting a catalyst within price action for an option to sell as well from that point, and further sells below the support here at 207.846 to be exact. Now GU, let me have a look at GU. Let me just quickly look at gold again, guys, just to see what's going on here. Oh, it's a weak pause, weak bearish pause. Let's use a fib here. 0.382. Would confirm that weak pause. What would the stop loss be? Don't think it's going to close below above that point either way. Quite a wide one, 60 plus pips. What I'm looking at is the fact that we've tapped back into this resistance. If we close back a weak bearish candle, likely what we've done is just grab liquidity from the downside. If we broke the high of this bearish candle, there'd be a high probability we would make a clean move into the price, clean price action to the left hand side here. So the back of that, I would have considered an option, but we've closed just perhaps a little bit too strong. There's no need to jump straight back in either way. We can be patient with the guys. The other option is to wait for, as we mentioned a bit earlier, the bullish closure, engulfing closure back above the high. That would be a much higher probability. So maybe that's what I'll do just for the time being. Chill, seeing it hasn't quite ticked the box as to what the rule I like to have seen play out. So we'll just chill on gold for a minute. GU breaking out, continuing up to the upside. Has it done all week? Look at that, the strength for a bullish candle. How strong is that? And we've broken the resistance, so we're into territory we've not been at for a few years now, for just over 2 years, back in February 22. So strong bullish in the weekly. Based off that, I'm likely looking to see what levels within it we could potentially pull back to, form a support, get back up, retest the high, create a higher high, so on and so forth. To the upside, we are very clean as well on the daily time frame. Looking really good, GU, to be honest. But unfortunately, it's one of those ones, if you're not currently in a move, you're just going to need to wait, chill, wait for it to set up again. Again, you've got to zoom way out here to the left for any previous levels of data. Do have clean traffic, so you're just going to need to let it set up again. What I'd be doing is I'd be drawing in most recent support, which is this point here, and I'd be patiently waiting for price to pull back, form support above that point, and that could be your potential option. So it's done this all week, hasn't it, guys? And I think I did it for, no, actually not last week. It's done it all week, where we come London session, it just tends to, or pre-London, it tends to make a push either pre-London or into the London session itself. So yeah, I'd just be waiting for it to pull back. I wouldn't be chasing this move. That is my personal opinion. Now quickly looking at BTC as per the final request so far. It is very bullish at the minute. You can just tell by the price. Weekly, we do look like we could come back up to retest the all-time highs, not that far off. Look at that. Also the candle formations, leaving these long wicks to the downside suggests we've grabbed liquidity from the resistance here at 102, and there is a higher probability I think we're going to come back up, create a new all-time high. Daily structure remains bullish. Again, we're at the wicks to the left here. 4 hour approaching the all-time high. Yeah, for me, similar to GU. I mean, if you're not already in a buy, I think you're maybe a little bit late to the party. You're just going to need to let it reset. So approaching that 4 hour resistance just now. So that's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for it to pull back to 105, form support based off the 4 hour. 30 minute, well, we'll flip bearish. To be honest, it's not that far off flipping bearish, but I still wouldn't be selling it. I would be playing the 4 hour range, to be honest. I'd be waiting for it to come back down to 105, 104.50. If it did form support above that point, I would buy it. As soon as it starts to close below it, that is when I would deem it a strong enough catalyst to look for options to sell it. We did reject, and especially if we pull up to the 4 hour resistance, only to reject it and then head back down and pop below 104, which, I mean, Bitcoin's capable of doing very quickly, especially if there is any news that doesn't see favorable. So that is my opinion of BTC. Now back to gold. Mark, been long since 33.02. Nice one, mate. Good work. Yeah, I was in it here. Brought it up for 90 pips. And was in it right at the beginning of the stream here for a third. It was just over 30 in the end. Laser Crypto Man knows. Oh, yep. Sorry, I've read that before, didn't I? Smash that like button, guys. Xauusd. No idea how to say that. BTC is heading to new all-time high. I'll still have to rise, and that tells the story. Yeah, I think it is likely going to create a new all-time high as well, just based off TA. Everything good day to you. Golf, which chart app is this? This is TradingView. It's free. It's very easy to you know, chart to draw on. It's got enough indicators on the free version. I don't use indicators, so I don't need to pay for a paid version. Mark? Yeah, that was right at the very beginning. I did give guys enough time to set it up. I did mention the level, everything. Arafin here to learn today. I'm happy to hear it. Golf, all good, mate. All good. Alright guys, remembering it is the open also of the 4 hour. So the 4 hour could still pull back a little bit further, and we're looking to see where that potential level could be. Could be the most recent support, or could also tap into the resistance here at 33.10, just below that point, and bounce off that. But again, I need a price action catalyst. Now, based off the 30, we could look for a similar sort of scenario as what I was looking at on the 15 time frame, where we could use the fib now, marking from low to high, and we can mark in again the 0.382 is the preference. That is the determining factor that would give me enough reason and a catalyst to look for a buy upon continuation, considering this to be just a weak pause within price action, moving into, once again, as I mentioned before, clean traffic to the left. So off the back of that, that's what I'm currently potentially waiting on. Pretty funny. After someone leaves the group thinking it's a signal service group, two trades in one day are called straight out in the group. Always made it clear it's not a signal service. It's not a signal service at all. I teach you guys how to fish for yourself. But I am willing to call when I'm on the chart. I just don't like to sit there for 10 hours a day looking for trades. That's not who I am. I don't hunt. I wait for the chance to present and come to me while I'm on there. If it does, fantastic. If not, so be it. I'm not fussed. Andy Draper 75. What you trading, mate? Just dipping my toes in. This is gold, mate. Spot gold. That's what I'm looking at. Narendra, good morning to you. GJ Mihai, sorry. GJ looks good for longs. What do you think? Yeah, price action looks okay. Then it's just not the greatest level to be buying it from, to be honest. They don't really have the margin. But as far as a catalyst, it's a very strong one. You got one major issue, no stop loss. Yeah, I just don't like GJ in this area. To be honest, I prefer to make a nice clean move up through as much of this crap as possible. And just trade the flower range. Wait for it to, if it does reject, and look for sells. Has created a lower low, so technically structural flip above 193.480 on a closure above that point. But I wouldn't buy it above that point because it's running straight into resistance. Laser Crypto Man. It's in the description, brother. Oh, actually, that might not be correct, that one. I'm not sure that's the correct one. Oh, let me... Where is it? Somewhere here. Let me copy the link. There you go. Saw some analysis, likely from Franco, Mr. Phil today. EU. Okay, yep, EU, let me quickly take a look at that. It does look very clean. The level you've got marked in, very clean. And you're likely in it based off the hourly. Liquidity candle here on the hourly, broke the low, broke the high. If it broke the low after having a lower high, lower low, no need to pull back up and break the high for the previous candle. Sounds confusing, but trust me, if it does so, there's a high probability it's going to make the move up. So nice one there. GU. All right, so you've got it at some resistance. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. I don't have the data to, unless that was probably a bit earlier actually. Yeah, all right, so you got that little. Yep, fair enough. Now it's pushing. So just over 4 minutes remaining, guys. Now, if it is to close bearish, my potential entry point will be above the minor resistance, so above the bearish candle. Irrespective, look, if this closes engulfing, then you're likely going to be looking to buy it above the high. If it closes just below that bearish candle's low, as long as it engulfs the body, that would be also a strong enough signal in my personal opinion. So we've spent at least the first 30 minutes creating a low wick in the 4 hour. The preference would be for the 530 to close weak bearish. That would be the preference, and then look for a buy just above that bearish candle's high. So you don't have to be quick with it. Stop loss will be below. And for me, I'm just going to go just full transparency. I'm going to go really small lot size because I've already had 2 big wins, 2 nice wins. The first one was the best win I've had, I think, for this year. As far as return wise, it was a cracking move that lasted all of like a minute. So I'm just going to risk a really small amount. Less is more. If I wasn't streaming, I wouldn't be trading. That's, to be perfectly honest. Ready, call one on the stream either way. 133 movies. Hello, what do you think about the price when London market opens? I'm new, want to scalp high leverage. Yeah, don't over leverage, mate. Well, it looks good to continue bullish. I mean, London Open is still more than 30 minutes away, so unfortunately don't have a crystal ball to be able to tell you where price will be at. But based off my analysis and my rules and my plan, it's looking good for continued upside here. What's the highest point? 33.1778. 33.17.98 potentially. Man, Hunter, I will look at it shortly. I just want to keep an eye on gold because we could get another potential re-entry. I've seen strong respect at 33.16. Strong resistance, I think you mean. May have been predictive text error. It's looking like it's going to engulf, so again, have to keep an eye on what the highest point of this candle is. And you're likely going to be looking for an entry just above it. So each broker has a different value for the most part. The last thing we want to do is reject and close back weak. But we'll then play it off the 30, so we still probably would have a valid option. $33.17.79, 33.17.99. All right, so it looks like we're going to close back bullish on a 30 along with a long liquidity wick to the downside. 15 is currently engulfing. 10 seconds left, guys. So focus on the highest point of this candle. We want a low wick, and we want this candle to leave an upper wick. It's pushing Oh man, it's got no upper wick. You're kidding me. Yeah, and it's a 32. If it was the 15, I'm not as worried by it, but it is a 30. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let it go. Yeah, I mean, it is better now though. Definitely better now. Things popped up, now put back to create a lower wick. So if you are interested, buys above the high would be a lower probability entry in my opinion, because of the fact this candle has no upper wick. And what is normally to follow after a candle that has no wick, in this case to the upside, is the next candle tends to close back a strong bearish candle, and at this rate it's pulling back with a lot of volume. So, but the thing is, at the open of this candle, it's kind of like the residual volume that we had left over from that candle that popped straight up, and it's now popping down to create that lower wick. So if it did begin to break its own high again, it's still an option. It's definitely a valid entry. Again, it's just not as much of a, in my opinion, as higher quality and high probability as if this candle had actually left the upper wick. An entry would have been based off, you know, price creating a lower wick and then popping above the candle's high. My members, apologies, I keep forgetting to let you guys in on the stream early, but anyway, here it is now. Zoom links. Shuffled a bit around today, guys, so apologies. You're looking for things, you're a bit lost. Yeah, so I'm waiting, guys. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, no need to rush. Already got off, you know, off to a good start with one buy on gold. Now just chilling. Ali took an entry earlier, right at the beginning of the stream. Just here for a quick 30 pips. So as I always mention, you just got to be here, guys, because I don't know when or if, or, you know, I can't predict what time things are going to play out. Sometimes right at the very beginning, sometimes right at the end, sometimes it doesn't play out. You just got to be on the stream. That's all you can do. Nickname, so I've not got an entry at the minute. Mark, yeah, I assume so. X Lee, I think that's how you pronounce it. Gold will reach 3350, analyze the whole graph. Fair enough. I agree, I think there's a good chance it will at some point. Give a buy from 92, nice one. Manok Xauusd 76, so no, I'll butcher that. Buy boss, not at the minute. I didn't like the way that counter closed with no upper wick. Ali took some profit, let the rest continue. Nice one. That trade from earlier today, guys, that was such a cracking trade. I shit you not, within about a minute I had 90 pips on the table. It just flew straight up. Like, I'll take that. For pretty much would have been the day had I not had to, you know, stream, but don't leave you guys hanging. Promise is a promise. Went off to the gym, came back, had another nice setup presenting, and took advantage of that. So now I'm just patiently waiting. Once again, if this closes weak, bearish on the 15, there could be an option off the back of that. If you want to jump in a bit earlier, it's up to you. Again, I'm just being strict with it because that candle had no upper wick. I don't mind it if this candle closes weak bearish and we begin to break the 15-minute high in the following candle, because it then resets once again for me. Lazy Crypto Man, yeah, it's probably, you probably just need to refresh it. It's a bit like that. See, because I often look at things only like 1 or 2 likes, but it's not It's not many, I think it's 14. So either way, you guys can do me a favor and hit the like button. No top whipping last week. Yep. Yeah, that's also a very good target for sure. Amante, I got 90 on the first trade and 30 on the one just here. Both were very quick. Welcome to you, by the way. Hope you're well. Narendra, what happened to gold yesterday was flying. People made lots of money. Yesterday? I'm not sure. Wasn't on the chart, to be honest. That was around the stock exchange open. The New York Stock Exchange open, so I'm not sure. Wasn't on the chart for it. A little bit too late for me. Probably off the back of some news coming out of the US. Simone, I'm currently learning day trading and I'm new. Can you show and where your entry point is? Thanks. I always do. I did. We already took one entry for a nice quick scalp. Now I just have to reset, wait for it to reset and look for another potential option, which I am currently waiting upon. So once again, I can use the fib and you guys see I use it very differently to the rest. Now what I want to see is this candle. I use it to determine strength of candles, to give me whether or not I've got a valid entry off the back of the strength or the weakness of a candle. I don't use it for entry points. So what I want to see is this candle closing back bearish. Yes, bearish, believe it or not. Creating that minor pause, minor resistance. But I want to close above the 0.382 because that would suggest to me that it is a weak pause, a weak bearish candle. That would be therefore a weak resistance. And with clean traffic to the left, if price was to begin to break above the resistance, this candle, this pause candle, there's a high probability to make the move back up towards the resistance at the 4-hour level as well, 33.40. But again, I'll secure in between. I'm not always trying to hit a home run. In fact, I'm just always just trying to take little increments here and there where I can. If it closes back bullish, then I'll probably just leave it again. So a very simple rule to follow, guys. Amante, first time I didn't wake up on time. Nice, mate. Yeah, doesn't matter, man. Plenty of other opportunities. Just chill. Again, create the plan and stick to it. Lazy Crypto Man, in my session just missed it. Oh, yesterday? Yep. But the good news is, Simone, if you are learning, you're definitely on the best stream for that. Mark, that happened when I took my son to dentist and completely missed it. Always something going on, isn't there? Designer deals. What time frame are you on? This is the 15. Simone, thank you. Also, why you are trading now. I thought the London session opens at 8 because there's still volume. Pre-London is volume. EU opens an hour before London, so that it's been open for the last 38 minutes. So it doesn't mean you have to wait for the session to open itself. I traded Asian session today. I traded an hour after the open, so you don't actually have to trade the actual candle that opens on. Always that 11 a.m. candle my time. I shit you not, it is every day you're gonna move. This one here. How's that for volume?
Hi Justin, good morning.
How are you, mate? How's it going?
Doing alright.
Nice one.
How are you?
Fantastic, mate. It's been a bloody good day. Really good day.
Yeah, same here.
Nice one. Nice work. See you EU longs, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yep.
I did send the analysis in
Yep.
the group earlier also.
Liquidity candle as well.
Yeah, the GU one was even better.
Yeah, GU, that's just off to the races. Yeah, that one is better actually. That liquidity candle is perfect. Because the traffic's very clean as well.
Yeah, I actually sent both of them, EU and
Yep.
in the analysis section in the group.
Yep, I just had a look at it about 10 minutes ago on the stream. So good work, mate. Definitely job well done.
Thanks.
Looking at anything in particular now or just waiting again?
Just waiting. Nothing particular at the moment.
Yeah, same.
EJ is just rubbish. Nothing.
Yeah, probably like GJ, to be honest. It's shit house. It's been terrible all week. It's probably stuck in a 4 hour range as well. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, very difficult. But all good. Just patiently waiting. I'm waiting for gold to close bearish, guys. I want it to close bearish. And it's just create a higher high. Sorry, mate. Go ahead.
A weak bearish or?
Yeah, weak bearish. Want it to create that minor pause again, and then look to enter as it breaks the minor pause, because we know it's a familiar price action pattern that works so well for us. Simone, all good, not a problem. Alright, so again, I want it to close back bearish, guys. If it doesn't close back bearish, then what I'm doing, so the 15 I'm talking about, then I'm likely going to be waiting for the 30 to close, and the exact same sort of thing I'll be looking for. Alright, doesn't look like it's going to do it in the next 3 minutes. It still could, but what we need to do is shift the entry point. So again, what we want to see is this candle closing weak bearish. We want it to close, yeah, well, obviously to close bearish, and then you're looking for a potential entry after the following candle creates a low wick and begins to break the high of the weak pause candle. Now let's use the fib again, seeing this area has shifted. Now the 0.382 has moved up just a fraction to that point there. So we want to close bearish but above that level. And if not, all good. Always forget to put trades taken on the YouTube stream. You know, I'm just gonna put what the trade was. Gold buys. Because I know it's a hot topic. People think I never take a trade. I think in the past 2 weeks it's just been the one stream. That was yesterday. I haven't taken a trade. Alright, popping up. So again, likely now we're gonna have to wait for the 30-minute closure here. I do look off the 15. It still would make sense for it to make the move based off, again, long liquidity candle to the downside, closing up near its high. There would be a high probability, if that was to be the case, that the following candle would end up just doing something like so, where it could pop straight up without the low wick. But again, for me to feel comfortable in it, I don't need to force it. I want it to reset as to what I want to see, and if it does, could have another entry. 22 seconds, it could be valid, guys. What is the high now? $33.20.27, so $33.20.47. It's closed bullish, so it's not valid. Very simple. Now it's no ifs, buts, maybes. It's just not valid. Didn't close how I wanted to close. Now I'm waiting on the 30. Very simple process. To the skull emoji, how long you've been trading? Over 8 years, my friend. Discipline XK, g'day to you. When did you take gold buys? Twice today. Once here. That was an absolute cracking trade. Using the 5-minute as out of confluence, my guys know exactly why. I documented before the entry, during the entry, after the entry, whatever. The whole thing was sent into the VIP. Based off the 30 and the 5-minute. And we also took buys at the beginning of the stream on the 15-minute time frame. Based off this candle popping up to actually tap into the high, just broke it without a low wick. And my favorite play that is within price, just pure price action, waiting for it to patiently pull back down to create a low wick. And as soon as it does, set the buy stop back above the high, makes the move. Very high probability trade. As long as you got clean traffic to the left, secured some profits on that one too. Now just waiting. JD, Slicker, exactly. All about it. Let's look at this now on the 30. Mark, when? All up, you mean? Like as in when I first started? Substantial cash. A lot of it was blown on a stupid service, which I got absolutely nothing from. Which cost me $250 a month for. It did include signals. Signals are, for the most part, are an absolute downright scam, to be honest, guys. Reason being is because even if it's a free group, for the most part, they require you to join a broker they recommend. And the reason why they require you to join that broker is because they get commissions from every lot you trade. So they're going to call plenty of signals because they want you to take trades because they get more cash for it. So I fell for all that. I lost a lot of money. I blew multiple accounts. Nothing major as far as the accounts blown. I mean, still significant cash. One was 2k, that was the most. Blew a few others, one about 1k and one was 500. That was just on one trade. But all in all, I paid a fortune for everything. My education, blown accounts. For the muck up with that bloody funded account cost me over 5k. I've paid an absolute fortune to get to where I am today. In the Ninja, yeah, a lot of pretty much. I mean, to be honest, sometimes it's pot luck. Sometimes at the very beginning, you have that beginner's luck. I had that. I flipped an account in my first trade, $500 account to 1k, and blew it not long after. Just the ticks. Just Thetic X, sorry. Are you gonna buy or sell? No, I was looking at buys, but it's not valid, so I'm waiting for the 30 to close here and see if we have an option. Narendra, you blew account 5 times. Yeah, I've done probably about that as well, to be honest. Do you have to pay the account back? Golf, what account back? If you want to refinance your account, you have to put more money into it, I suppose. You're talking about the funded account. It's demo anyway, and that clearly was because it was a scam, because they were due to pay me out. That's why all of a sudden my account was frozen and I could not do nothing about it. So no way I have to pay that back, and they should have been paying me back for, you know, the fee. So Jen, you blew one account 10 years ago, now much more conservative. Yep, that's again that's what happened to me after blowing so so many early on. Would have been about 5 as well. Just got sick of it. You're just giving away money for nothing. Golf, if I lose it, all you can do is lose your investment. That's it, your initial, some whatever capital you put into your account. If it's funded, no, because they're all demo anyway. I'm not sure, maybe a couple are legit, and once you've passed, they give you access to a live account, a real live account. I have no idea. But for the most part, most of them rely on the people who fail, because they'll keep the company liquid, and they'll be able to pay out those who do pass from all the people that are constantly failing, retrialing, failing again. Bjorn, J's down. You mean GJ or? Let's look at GJ actually here. So it's at that level where I would prefer to look for options to sell it from. Could even have a catalyst here on GJ shortly. So similar, what you could use is the fib. If this closes weak, bullish. Wait, always get it mixed up. This closes weak, bullish. Let's just mark it in and we'll go back to the 30. So first of all, if it closes weak bullish, you're going to close below the resistance, which is a good thing. And second of all, the 30 is going to close back a strong bearish candle as well. So off the back of that, you're going to be back below, again, the both the counter to the left, the resistance. That would also be a valid entry on GJ, guys. In fact, that would be a more solid entry than the potential one on gold, because gold's kind of looking like it's struggling a bit, like it's losing a bit of momentum at the moment. Could be waiting for that influx of potential liquidity for session open in the next 7.5 minutes. Back of that, GJ looks quite appealing, but it has to close below that point there and weak bullish. Raindrop now learn to save capital, good idea. Skull emoji, funded accounts, choose wisely, that's all I can say. Because I got done by a scam account, scam prop firm, sorry. D-Man blew 5k by following signals and not knowing what I'm doing. Exactly, I did the same. Guys, what point are you waiting for to buy? Just contemplating again, because to me it's struggling now in the 15. To be honest, I want to see a bit of volume coming back in. The way we are potentially closing here, it looks like there is a bit of more sell pressure at the moment. So they are potentially waiting for a nice strong closure on the first maybe M15 of session open, but we'll wait and see. I'll see how this counter closes. I'll let you guys know. Discipline X key, thank you. Spotlight stories, I will wait. 30, yep. What lot size will we buy if you trade? It's of no relevance to anyone, to be honest. What lot sizes? I've always mentioned I don't trade massive lot sizes. By no means am I, on the big fish or anything. But I trade enough to see some significant returns and losses if I'm not careful as well. So today it has been an absolute cracking day. Spotlight stories, and how many socials are you streaming? I found you on TikTok. I don't know where you are reading comments. I'm reading on both TikTok and YouTube. $2 EU buy. Not in a minute, mate. No, you're too late for the buy, to be honest. Now it's just pulling back. You need a strong closure again, to be honest, above the high, and even then, that being said, you're at resistance. So personally, for me on EU, I'd rather it pull back and look for a buy lower down. All right, gold continuing on. Oh, GJ dropping. All right, GJ looks like it may go just a little bit before the confirmation I wanted. So let's wait on gold. It could be again one of those pure signals within price action on the entry candle for any potential option. Bruno, GU sell 1300 pips on D1 possible. Good luck with that. The Rindra lost 12k with scam. Yep, I've heard of a lot of stories like that, to be honest, mate. But you have to be really careful. It's so easy to fall for, though, to be honest. I fell for it. Like, it wasn't a scam, but it pretty much was, to be honest, because it was all just baby pips, can't copy stuff, which I paid 250 bucks a month for. Plus the signals they were copying from someone else. I have no idea who it was, but we found out they were copying it from someone else. Ready? Gold sell? Not for me. No way. Very bullish. Pietro, what's your opinion on instant funded accounts without challenges? No opinion of them, because I've never bothered with any of them, to be honest. I was really put off after my experience. So I have no opinion. If anyone has got an instant funded account and they've got payouts, do share, let us know. For Timo, welcome to you. For gold, if price rallies up when UK opens, will you enter aggressive? Look, potentially, and that will come down to the entry candle itself, because we are running our steam here, so it's not giving me as much confidence as the buy earlier. So if, for instance, at the open we pop straight up and just break the high without the low wick, then I'd be waiting for my favorite thing to happen, and that's for it to come back down, create a low wick, and at that point I will set a buy stop back above the highest point of the entry candle. So that is an aggressive way, and it's still a very, in my opinion, high probable way of getting involved. That's something I could look out for. Thank you to new followers, guys. Bruno, tomorrow hard day. Hayden, missed the analysis, but another day, another dollar. No, it's been more than that. It's been a cracking day. Chris, is trading your main source of income? It's pretty much yes. Well, it's equal, to be honest. Again, I do have a business in the background. So it's good because it takes the pressure off. Again, I've always mentioned having to find a trade. I don't hunt trades. I feel it's good to have something in the background, even if it's just a small side hustle, just so you know you got some form of income coming in. I don't stress it. Again, I follow my rules. I know some days I'll get some nice options, some days I won't get anything. I just need to do what I do best, and that's just wait for my, analysis to play out, wait for my plan to play out, wait for the rules to be ticked off, and I'll know I'll likely get paid. So that's exactly what I do. Yeah, I'm likely going to come down to the entry candle, guys, because at this rate, not giving me a great deal of confidence. What I do like is, though, that we are still hovering above the resistance formed during the Asian session at the highs. So that would give me more confidence that we'll likely head up, but the momentum is just waiting for the time being. Chris, sounds good. Mihai, cells look nice for GJ. What's it doing? Quickly look. Yeah, it does, but it's pulling back quite strongly now. So the 30 likely going to close very weak and back above this resistance, so therefore I don't like it. So let's keep an eye on gold again, guys. Totus, Byron's in tight lane. That's not a bad way to go about it as well. Chris, all-time high. I do anticipate gold will get there at some point. Not saying anytime right now, but all right. So session open is officially upon us. Let's have a look. Once pop straight up. On the opposites, pop straight down. All right. Yeah, not what I wanted to see. Yeah, 15 doesn't look great. I'm waiting, guys. Not liking that. Buys above if you're interested, but I'm not taking that as it flips. No need to force it. Just chill. GJ says closed above that point. So again, it could be a pause now, but for me, there's no buys because there is no margin to the upside. And it's against the structure itself, so I would not bother with that. Let's quickly scope around GA, so rejected. Not sure if there's any options just here. Alright, GA doesn't look bad. Pulls back to create up a wick. As long as it does that. Sell stops below low would not be the worst option. EU, similar to gold, just pulling back, nothing there. And GU the same. So I'd be waiting for price to actually make moves down. AU at resistance. Don't trade against the type art. Look at the gaps, it's always going down for whatever reason. Euro CAD. Interesting. Looks quite bullish though. So the close still within consolidation, so therefore I'd need to wait for price to pull back, form support. Used to love trading EuroCAD. Yeah, don't worry about EJ. EA, another one, needs to wait for it to pull back to form support. It's just stuck in a range. So that's about it, guys. Not much going on just now. We'll keep an eye on things though. $4K coming. I'm a believer of that as well, to be honest, mate. Chris, sounds good. Fatima, all good. David Carter, what app to use for trading? This is TradingView, mate. To draw the charts on. MetaTrader 5 is what I use to execute. Disappointing XK. Yeah, that's something you always need to consider. Obviously, I don't do my taxes myself. I've got an accountant who does that because we obviously have a business in the background. There are ways to, you know, try to limit what you need to pay. You know, I'll leave that, or I pay enough for it. So for the accountant, they do the most of the hard yards for us. But you do claim expenses. Lots are expenses. You can claim all that. There are ways of going about it. Gold Sniper, yeah. Well, if you got to that. I think Hong Kong's similar too, to be honest. In Singapore, I don't think they tax. I don't think there is a tax for Forex traders. From what I'm aware, I could be wrong. Thailand's another one. I'm not sure. I think they. I'm not sure how it works, but I think there's ways of getting around it there as well. So it's the likely destination for me. Narinja, bro, what about Lux Algo? I would like to subscribe. I have no idea what it is, mate, to be honest. Not affiliated with any algo or anything, so I couldn't tell you, my friend. Gold Sniper, loads of loopholes, I'm sure. Strategy. Yeah, I know. Laser Crypto, man, they rip us off in every single fashion. Honestly, it's such a joke how tightly governed we are here. They literally rob from your pocket. And did you hear the new one? Apparently, we all have to pay tax on our super, but the government won't. Politicians won't. Mate, I don't want to lose my account. I don't want to get banned, but it's so frustrating here in Australia. It's not a lucky country, that's for sure. Just remove that for the time being. So many people I speak to these days say the same thing. They're just working and saving to get the hell out of it, to move. Yep, Muppets, it's above 3 million. Yeah, of course. They're the ones who've got, you know, that much money in their super, and obviously they forever getting handouts, payouts. They've got the pension forever. Don't get me started. I can't stand Australian government whatsoever. I have no idea how the hell he got re-elected, and overwhelmingly too, how they won so easily. Everyone I speak to say they didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him. No way would I vote for him. It just, you know, happens to be the other idiot wasn't much better, to be honest. He was also enough, but yeah, it's just can't stand Australian politics. Yeah, and I don't want to get too political. There is one person I admire. I'm not going to name names. But I know it's worse here in the UK. First stories not like great there too. Spotlight stories, will you trade when the US market opens? Not on stream, but I will be with the VIP. Laser Crypto Man got me harder. Yeah, it's what they do, don't they? Spotlight stories? I wouldn't. Personally, it's got an upper wick, so I could create that. It does have low, high, low, low, so it's a high probability it's going to end up bearish, but it's in a very strong uptrend. I would just patiently wait for it to pull back and potentially form support above the previous support here, and then look for options to buy it. I'm going to try to fight the trend. Laser Crypto Man, don't get me started. It's called preference voting. Only 33%. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, that's where it's an absolute joke here in Oz. Preferred party. 33% voted for that. I know, it's such a joke, isn't it? I mean, what sort of democracy is it where you can only choose between two leaders? I've seen, you know, obviously people say, you know, how much of a, was it a monitored society China and certain countries are. You just see videos on YouTube that foreigners that go there and travel, they say it's the best there. It's so good. Like everyone's safe. There's no real issues of crime. Everyone's happy. Everyone's out in the street enjoying. It's cheaper. We just like to think we're a lot better in some of these Western countries, but the reality is most people are miserable because they're under the thumb. You work for the government. That's what you do. Literally. Laser Crypto Man, I bet you know exactly what I'm talking about. 100% you'll know who I'm talking about. Yep. If only. If only. Gold Sniper, problem is these people just puppets with high powers. Voters do nothing, they are assigned. Yeah, exactly. They don't do a thing. If they were to do, you know, well, if you vote them in, they should listen to the public as to where you want your money to go and all that, your taxes, so you have to pay such a fortune in taxes. Should have more of a say of where it goes. Just my next key, taxes in Netherlands are even more crazy, really? I mean, I'm getting a phone call from somewhere in Sydney, so maybe it's from the government. If you're watching the stream, I'm not gonna answer it. 2 cows to the left, no top wick, big bottom wick. Yeah, it looks like it's going to reject a bit, doesn't it? Gold sniper. Spotlight story, same here in Albania. Only 2 layers you could shoot. Yeah, it's a joke, isn't it? As a crypto man, it's not who votes that counts, it's who counts the votes. And that's another thing. And that's again, that's a big thing because it's done in pencil, the ballot papers. How easily could they be rubbed out? All of a sudden they change who you voted for? Tell me it couldn't happen. Ballot papers go missing. Apparently that happened. It's such a joke. It is just the most stupid, outdated system. Yeah, vote in pen. That's what I probably should have done, to be honest. GU. Yep, that support looking good for potential buyers. Let me get back to TikTok. Apologies, guys. Golf, I heard that judge passed some sort of law for zero tax on Bitcoin. That would be great if it was to be the case. Not that there are any, but I think the US is becoming more progressive with the crypto, so hopefully, you know, other Western countries will follow. No, tax, yeah, 3 million up when it comes to super. But it's talks getting taxed on unrealized gains, which that is such a freaking joke if that happens. I will demonstrate. I swear I'll demonstrate. I'll go with my camera. I'll do it live. I'll do it on TikTok. I'll lose the account. I'll do it on YouTube. D-man, if you want to get robbed by your government, then look no further than UK. Yeah, same here in Oz. Same shithole. I'll do everything they can to screw you. Omar Year 96, how can I enter VIP section? Just click on the link in my profile and it's there. The link to sign up is there. Narendra, chat has just moved on. Bro, you're lucky. Europe is crazy. I'm moving out Luxembourg. It's so expensive. Just the Western world in general, man. Zach Bear in Melbourne. Arbers J, what about 310? Can reject on that zone. Back to gold. Yeah, previous level, potentially. But the issue with that, if it did bounce off it, likely not going to the margin buy back up. But that being said, there's still a potential for it to happen. So, for instance, if you did draw that in, and perhaps you had a liquidity M30 candle, so a candle that may close a little bit like so, you may have a 15-minute bullish engulfing. You'd also be grabbing liquidity from the range below it, from that below previous resistance. That could be enough to look for a buy to take it back up. So it is a potential rejection point, but just need to wait and see.
Hey, good morning, man.
How are you, brother?
Hey, fine, thank you.
That's good. Good to hear. Take the gold buy earlier?
Yeah, absolutely. So
nice,
I was in time to get in. So very good. So I'm done for the day.
Nice and easy, mate. How good is that? Come to work, 5 minutes, do the job.
It was a little bit more.
Maybe 6 minutes. Wasn't long. Wasn't long, was it?
Absolutely, absolutely agree.
Nice and quick. But looking at anything else, or had anything in mind otherwise? But
no, the issue is we had GU.
Oh, we had news, didn't we?
News.
Yeah. What about that?
And it was positive.
Yep.
So so therefore
right.
I was not involved in that.
Yep,
so
fair enough.
After to settle down, so I leave it. So I was concentrated then.
Yep, totally fair enough. That hence the reason why the pound and the euro pushed off the back of the news. So if CPI has come out as greater than expected, they're likely not going to cut rates anytime soon. So off the back of that, that's deemed a strength and positive for the currency, and the euro has followed. Yeah, so just need to win.
And for you, you had during Asian session another great.
Yeah, that
gold,
was
yeah? Amazing,
such a
guy.
beautiful trade. The only thing it wasn't fantastic is it didn't really have a low wick at the open, but off the back of the 15, the back of the catalyst within the M30, 5-minute catalyst. One of the situations, one of the only times it's likely just going to pop straight up. Knowing also that particular candle, 11 a.m. candle, always has volume that time of day for me. And it was all happened in this candle. Straight up, 90 plus pips.
Out of the market?
90 pips. It got to over 100.
Wow, great, man.
Yeah. And it was half the trade. So
something.
yeah, I secured 50%, about 18. It just popped up. I just secured 50%, got to break even, and it flew. And I just let it go at 90. And that's it.
Took your normal lot size?
Yeah. 50% at first TP and 50% at second TP. So it was a really good return.
So now you relieve the fingers from the mouse, huh?
That's it. Now I'm extremely can just sit my hands and just chill. And again, perfect day. Just follow the plan. Do as you do. The other trade was also a nice win. That was normal lot size. That's it. If I am to take another trade, it'll be very, very, very low lot size. So you know what that means.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Gold pushed extremely. So there was a massive bullish. So it was not really a risk for gold to get in.
Yep.
So good call.
Yeah, for me it's trending really bullish. There was momentum. There's definitely enough reason to take that entry. But well done. I'm sure you would have been looking at pretty much the same thing.
Absolutely. So there was no doubt from my side to get into this trade, as you called.
Yeah, irrespective of even seeing the message in the VIP. I'm sure if you saw that, you were looking at it.
Yeah, I didn't saw it, so I was coming to the stream and I see that, and for me it was perfect entry.
Nice one.
Also yesterday, gold pushed a lot in the evening, so my time. So
good chance it's going to continue on.
Correct.
Yeah, still got clean traffic above the high to potentially move on as well.
I think there's a lot of pressure on the US dollar. Due to some Chinese government are selling.
Bonds, are they?
Yeah, bonds, correct.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
that could sink. That could crash the US dollar big time if governments decide to sell off their US bonds. I mean, is the world currency, trade currency. What it's going to do is just going to inflate the dollar, and it's just going to completely sink it. It will die, completely drop. So if it's a trigger on effect, and Japan does the same, I think they hold a lot of US bonds, government bonds. A lot of these countries do. If it does float down to other countries as well, it does trigger them into doing likewise, then the US dollar is going to really tank, and that means gold is likely going to continue very bullish. Silver will likely continue very bullish. It looks like it has popped up a fair bit as well off the back of that news. Other precious metals, Nasdaq may even as well. People might decide to park money into it as opposed to US dollar. Bitcoin, obviously. Bitcoin be one I feel that will get a massive pump off the back of that.
But Justin, this is what I did not get at the end. So what you mentioned. So if
the
persons are then putting money into the NAS, so the NAS is reflecting the US economy at the end. So the US companies. So how this is related together at the end? I didn't get it.
I think it's just
Because
to get out of the dollar. Basically, they'd rather put their money in something rather than keeping it in the bank because it's becoming worth less and less.
okay.
So they park it in.
Maybe putting the money to companies maybe
Yeah.
which have export, because if you are
Possibly.
exporting then things and the dollar is weak, you
More likely to
maybe
sales will increase in that.
more. Mm.
Correct. That's perhaps another reason why people might park their money into some equities in that as well. So it's interesting times. Bruno, country might be going to shit, but companies will appreciate. Yeah, due to location, that's true.
Okay.
So there you go. So interesting times. Look out for gold to continue. It's all over world corruption, total control pending, gold, sniper, that's what they want. Klaus Schwab, that's what he wanted. Everyone to be on the one income, one global currency. Everyone to have basically no cash and be happy. That's apparently what he wants. But there are people trying to stop it, which is good. Gold sniper just feeding the money into the market. Carl, I'm done for the day. Trade safe, nice one. But don't say too much on stream. Like, yeah, well, I got a phone call from Sydney. Not sure, could be the feds. And gold at sale at 33.19.55, win 91 pips already, nice one. Laser Crypto Man got gold. Japan holds the most, 1.1 trillion in US bonds. Defund, WEF, and UN and WHO. Okay. And all countries have just signed up for the WHO pandemic treaty also. Oh man, that is such bullshit. You know what that means. Exactly, COVID 2.0. They're planning something. Mark my words. That's such crap. And to think everyone's gonna fall for it again. Time to leave, yeah. But they're that corrupt that wouldn't surprise me if they actually do let some virus out that's been lab created. It would not surprise me. That is more serious. Get ready to get jabbed again when you vote for this. Nah, it's crock of shit, isn't it? Spotlight stories, it's looking ordinary at the minute, just pulling back. Guys, can we buy at this point? Not for me, to be honest. FXM, should I enter buy if you like? I don't think there's any entry right now. Arbors J, well, it goes until 32.8 without problem, then continue now. Okay, makes sense. Him, hey to you. Bombs is, hey, what broker would you recommend me? Type in the chat. Gotta be careful recommending anything on here. Dash digits, retest. Buys. Yeah, retest of this support would be great, but it has retested that level we spoke about briefly before. Someone did mention 33.10. But I would prefer it to actually come back down to 33.02, to be honest. GJ just struggling as well. GJ is nasty. It's very difficult. FXM, can we buy? Not for me. Mihai, EU, GU, buy. Last I checked, they were at support. Yeah, potentially, but not quite yet. No confirmation. EU, yeah, I probably want it to pull back further still. All countries have signed up for the WHO pandemic treaty. What a absolute joke. They have the US sign up as well. I would have thought they'd be against it, to be honest, with especially if Trump being in office. Yeah, Laser Crypto Man. Doesn't surprise me. Because he's the one who's trying to go against the World Economic Forum and Bilderberg, all that stuff. The, what's his name, Klaus Schwab and all that. So they hate him. Oh, sniper, not jab, never will. I wish I could say the same. Only I got the 2, but I was kind of forced because I couldn't travel without it. Never wanted to. I'd made sure my son never got jabbed. No way. No way. He was instructed, well, his mum was instructed not to allow it. Under no circumstances. Even if they weren't to allow him back at school, he wasn't to get it. And he didn't get it. And he's fine. He's at school. Missed a fair chunk, but he's all good. He's top of his class. And he's same, he didn't miss any years or anything. He didn't stay down, so. Not jab, got doctor's exemption. Laser Crypto Man, nice one. Paul, same, didn't get jab. Lucky you, mate. Well, I just said no, yeah. So I'm gonna say next time. I'll just pay for it. Black market, I'll go on them. What's that website called? Pay for a fake certificate. Gosh, not for many people regretting it now. Everyone I ask. So I could travel. How insane someone tells people to take. Yeah, I know it's such a joke, but it's a little bit different, mate. When it's my son, it was either that or I don't see him, and I couldn't wait another bloody 2 years or whatever. So. For me, I had no choice. I never wanted to, and I always said I wasn't, but you know. And they did ask when I got to Bangkok, they did make you present the certificate. Golf, yes, many. That's a very unfortunate event from some of the implications from it. No, sniper it is, and how easily manipulated we are. And it's very hard to have a choice, to be honest. What are you looking at, guys? Anyone currently running any trades or interested in any trade potentially? GA is looking really good. The next minute, this is looking fantastic. Rejection on the 4-hour resistance, formed a weak bullish candle pause support below it. Now potentially engulfing, that would be a fantastic entry. Not how to trade it, but it looks really good. GJ is terrible, forget it. EU still would want it to come back lower. GU looking better, would want maybe a little pause on the next M15. Still don't have a 30 closing back bullish, so a bit of a struggle. And gold still rejecting. Andrew, I want to open that. I'll open it after the stream though, to be honest. Just in case it gets me a strike or anything, if it pops up on the stream. On the what's it called, the screen that I'm presenting by accident. Golf, how long did it take for me to be able to read candle charts accurately? Well, to be honest, I'm a guy who really pays attention to detail, and I think it's quite beneficial when you're trading. Because I analyze, I look at things thoroughly, and I ask, why is it doing this? And to be honest, scalping it didn't take long because I already had a bit of a background when it came to swing trading. Time-wise, I have no idea. I can't remember. It wouldn't have been that long though. But you're always developing. Look, I add things to my trading every year. All the time, I add things. See things happen. You start to read things that you don't read it differently, but you see different opportunities present. So it will take every individual a different length of time to understand what exactly they're looking at and what works for them. But it's not that difficult to read market structure and analysis. The hardest part is just flawlessly executing in accordance to your plan if it does present. Missile, GJ. No, I really don't like the choppiness in price action at the minute. 15 is just consolidating. GJ is terrible again. Looks very rank. GA looks good. GA does look really good. The Rindra, no, I think it's good to sell, mate, personally. Doesn't really have a low wick though, it's a little bit off-putting. UJ for buys. For buys. Very, very bearish, to be honest. Let's quickly look at it, do the top down. Yeah, it's very bearish. I can tell straight off the bat, the weekly I'd be looking for sells. Very strong bearish candle, low high, low low to the previous. Daily has still got room to the downside. Low high, low low to the previous candle as well. Be looking for levels within it to pull back to for rejection to sell it. Otherwise, continuation below the low makes sense. 4 hour. This wick's got this bearish wick to the left, which is likely some support on the 30. You need a Xauusd to buy it, so be marking that's the most recent resistance. Be marking that bearish wick for the time being and seeing what it looks like on a 30. Adjust it accordingly. All right. So I've just dragged it across now to the current price action. Seeing it lines up perfectly. And what I'd be looking for is sells below. Clean traffic to the left below it. It is obviously the daily low, forms support at that level. For me, there is no catalyst to buy it. It won't flip structure bullish in the M30 till back above this resistance. So I'd be patiently waiting for it to form resistance upon a pullback and look to sell it. Otherwise, sell it below the low. The only way I would consider buying it in this situation is if you can correlate for a few things. So first of all, 4 hour closing back bullish at a level here to the left. So that's what you want to see. So followed by within it, you want to see some structure form from these lows. So break the high, higher low, maybe on the new 4 hour candle, creating its low wick. And then you could probably look for entries as it begins to pop above the 4 hour high, which would be the previous 4 hour candle at that point. And that's how I would play it if I was to look for buys. Otherwise, I'd just be waiting for it to pull back. The cleaner, the deeper, the better the move. The cleaner, the deeper, the better for options to sell it. Be looking for sells from 144.30 and so on and so forth. Me, it's definitely more a sell than a buy. Again, don't let me put you off. You have your plan. And if, that says to take buys, I wish you luck. Ethan, my thoughts on gold right now, let it pull back. It's run out of steam. If you weren't in buys earlier, which we were, you just need to chill and let it do its thing. No, gold buys 50%. No idea what you're talking about, mate. 50% of what? You're talking about this candle. Not in my game plan. It's not one of my rules, or it's not one of my trade types, entry types, so not for me. What time frame am I on? This is the 30 currently, but more usually I'm focused on the 15 and 30. Small audience today on both platforms. What's going on, guys? Trading market, why are you not buying gold? What reason should I be, why should I be buying it? I already bought it, mate. I already had a win. Got 2 wins today on gold, buying gold. I just need to let it reset. And for me now, where the entry will come from is either back at support or above the resistance. Right in the middle just now, so that's the reason why I'm not buying it. There is no entry for me. Again, doesn't mean you guys can't buy it. If you have a reason to buy it, you go for it by all means. Don't let me stop you. But for me, I don't have a catalyst. Ethan, what time frame do you enter trades on? Generally speaking, again, it's the 30 and 15, but I will sometimes even go down to the 5-minute to look for my catalyst to present, like I did on the trade during the Asian session today. I hope my guys appreciate that entry and why I love it. It is such a high probability trade when that presents. That one and the one where on stream today how it popped up and we waited patiently for it to pop back down, create a little wick, then enter. That is also bread and butter for me. Again, it's not guaranteed because there is no such thing as a guaranteed entry. But mark my words, you're gonna win sometimes 10 out of 10. For the most part, at least 8 out of 10 times. To whoever shared the stream, thank you. Humi, yes, this is the gold, mate. DJ rejecting. Yeah, so it's coming from consolidation. For me, that's not a strong entry. It's made multiple attempts to make the move down and it looks like it may do so now. But again, how do you know? So in this situation, when it is coming from consolidation, I just let it be, leave it be, let it do its thing. Spotlight stories, when it's good to buy, probably back above the high at this point if it is to pull up just where it is just now. Boomy, maybe, I don't know. I've already taken a buy earlier on stream for a win. I took a buy during the Asian session, so no need to force anything. Plus, I've got a date with the members later on for MY, so that could provide a cleaner opportunity. That will be an hour before MY Open. And jump on with the members. We have a watch, we analyze, we have a chat. It's a good, just chilled session. We do education, we have just a general chat, or, you know, how life's going, all that type of thing. We catch up. And we wait until MY Open, we wait and see how that candle forms, and then we usually call it.
My maybe will not be there today. I will.
Yep. All good, mate.
Substitute Marley's car today.
Oh, okay. Yep. Fair enough, mate. Not a problem at all.
Yeah. Wow. But it's, yeah, unfortunately, because I enjoy it, as you mentioned, so it's very chilled.
Exactly.
And being in the team and yeah, chat together and maybe finding some entries there.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more chilled, obviously. Educate, do all that stuff as well, so never mind. I'll be on with you guys again tomorrow. Or more, it's Thursday's pre-MY though. It's not into the open. But Monday to Friday, there's always a call at some point after the stream. It's always some sort of session. And then every other Sunday, there's a sim session as well. So, good little community. Tell you what, gold sells would not look half bad, but I'm not interested in selling it. But that's if, and 15 doesn't look great, but purely off the 30 if it closed weak bullish, but there is absolutely no chance of me selling it. Let me make this that clear just now. I'm not interested in selling it. It's in a massive strong uptrend, so I'm just rather wait patiently for opportunities to buy it. Just look at a nice one. You'll be there. Good mate. It's a good time to jump on, ask questions and that as well. Gbpjpy, would you mind replaying your earlier trade on how you got in? I'm trying to understand the account. All good, not a problem. All right, so it was basically the first 15 minutes of the stream. So as the stream started, that was the closure of the candle prior to the stream starting. Then what happened was this candle itself at the open of it. So I didn't get in until a little bit later into the candle. So this candle, draw it over here to the side, popped straight up, and it just broke the high of that resistance. Had no lower wick. Sent the signal or the idea into my group to say wait for it to pull back, create a lower wick, and as soon as it does it, it's valid for a buy stop back above the high. So that's what I did, waited for it to pull back to create its lower wick. And as soon as it did that, I placed the buy stop above the highest point of that particular candle, and it made the move. Enough for me to secure some profit. That was that trade. And again, I had one earlier from during the Asian session, which was even better. That was definitely trade of the week, trade of the month, maybe even trade of the year, to be honest. That was just, love it when it happens. How long to wait? Do you wait lower wick? Lower ticket, lower wick? I wait, well, however long it takes. To be honest, as long as it happens usually in the first 5 minutes or so, because then it gives you enough time for the candle to actually develop and push enough to give you profits. I want it to happen before the last 5 minutes. Reason being is because we will come into the closure of the 4-hour and the hourly, and I know for a fact that it's likely going to leave an upper wick. and I didn't want to get caught out in that pullback. So I wanted to be able to be triggered in as early as possible. I wanted to be able to secure profits before the last few minutes, which we did. And then what happened was price obviously created a low wick, a new candle, which would have taken me out had I left the trade open. So yeah, it was really, really well executed, well planned, well managed, and nice win. Mark? No, gold's just been shit. Nothing's happened. Nothing at all, mate. Morgs Derb, sorry. Is there somebody who told me how can I do? Not sure what you mean, to be honest. FXM, do you think it's gonna hit 33.50 today? No idea. I don't have a crystal ball. I think at some point it definitely will hit 33.50, whether that's today, tomorrow, next week, or in 2 weeks time, who knows? Because I'm of a firm belief gold will just continue up. I think 4K is on the horizon. Not going to predict when, because again, I don't have a crystal ball. But gold is just very solid. It's just going to continue up. It may make decent pullbacks. It may not happen this year, who knows? But yeah, look, I think there's a very good chance it's going to head up towards that 4K mark at some point. Mark's still long, but I'm watching a strategy someone else talks about. I'm intrigued to see today play out. Okay, fair enough. GJ, so still struggling, guys. Hence why I would not take trades from consolidation. It's still not really proven a thing to me. And now it's likely going to make a slow trickle down. But you'd be in and out drawdown the whole time. He thinks the 1 minute candles determine the trend for today. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, you probably know my opinion of the 1 minute. I think there's too much data within it. But who knows? There could be something behind it. Again, for that particular person, it probably works really well. I just don't know it. I don't need to trade it because what I do works for me. So, Chaz, you think it's going up? Yeah, again, irrespective of what I think, I need to wait for a signal. Mark, first minute London candle was bearish, but I can see nothing but bullish today. Yeah, it's been a very bullish day, hasn't it? Real life observer, David Phillips. Thanks, Jason. I was always enjoy. Oh, sorry, that's your name, Jason. David Phillips. Justin. But anyway, close enough. I often get called Jason. All good. Glad you enjoy. It's funny because even the auntie calls me Jason half the time. What happens when you get on? Dementia creeps in. Close enough though, so yeah, good on for trying. Markets broke above my upper trend line, not long to see if lower trend line is respected. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Again, I don't use trend lines. The reason being is because often they do line up with support and resistance and zones that I use either way. So I'd rather have the actual zone in, give it a little bit more depth. And as I've mentioned in the past, often what you see is price will tap into it, either reject it, pop back above, like so. And a lot of the time you go multiple wicks into a zone, Sometimes it will happen to just crash straight through it. More often it'll be on a 30 or 15 minute time frame. The 4 hour and daily levels, it will for the most part always have some sort of reaction at. Although I know you don't like trend lines. Yeah, look, it's just not for me. Again, so many different ways you can skin a cat, so I'm not one to say it's shit or don't use it, or, you know, I'm no expert, but I know what works for me, and that's what I do. I use zones and trend lines. Yeah, well, that's another thing. You could use both, that's for sure. Don't forget to follow, guys. We do this on the daily. We kill it. We killed it again today. Killed it already at the beginning of the stream. GJ still hesitant to make the move down. Let's quickly look at EU and GU. EU still struggling. GU breaking through support. All right, so it's not flipping any structure though. That won't happen until really at this point back below 133.580 roughly. We're fair way off. I say these is just pauses within price action. What I determine to be a swing point is 2 more consecutive counts pulling back in the opposite direction. So that is that officially this point here. Otherwise I just consider these to be pauses. Doesn't mean I would not consider selling into it. You'd have to have some sort of strong catalyst. And similar to what I mentioned before, on UJ, looking for a 4 hour to close back bullish. In this case, I want a 4 hour to close back bearish. Wait for the new counter to pull back, creates up a wick, and let the mine time frame form some structure. And then potentially off the back of that, we'll look for options to sell it. So if I don't have the 30-minute catalyst, the structure flip, that's the type of catalyst I would look for in order to get involved in sales. Gold's a bit different because it has more volume momentum. It's more so where it's at. If it's tapping into a level, and I'll still potentially look for an option, especially if it's a 4 hour daily zone, if it's counter trend. Senzu, everyone hawking gold. Alrighty team, I think I'm gonna call it because the numbers are dropping on YouTube anyway. TikTok, you guys are still rocking away. Can I look at, okay, NAS, I will look at it just quickly. Yeah, actually let me do a top down on NAS before I end the stream. All right, so starting at the weekly time frame, and we are rejecting yet again. All right, so yesterday this same stage I think we're flipping back bullish, but what we do have against that previous very strong bullish candle is a candle that's currently got a high low, higher high. So if we were to flip, break our own high once again off the back of that, I feel there's a high probability we could eventually come up towards the all-time highs again, not necessarily this week, but moving forward. Daily, just struggling a bit. Previous closed bearish, current has a lower high, lower low. Just marking the low of it. Let's also mark in the high of it. Structure-wise, it still is bullish though. So off the back of that, we look to see on the 4 hour if it's tapped into any support. Not quite. It's just the slow trickle down after rejecting the resistance or creating resistance. So above it, very clean. Yeah, looks good above for options to buy it still. Support, don't have it until 21.10 roughly, 21.090. Structure wise, it is still bullish and will remain bullish as long as it remains above this support. So everything's still screaming potential upside. 30-minute structure, let's quickly look at it. I think it was bearish. There's the high swing point. Yeah, 30-minute structure is bearish. Off the back of that, there's opportunities I feel in either direction here on NAS today. Let's go down to the 15. I think it is a high volume pair, moves very quickly. And I'd be marking that point there is the lowest point of 30. Any bullish cap? No, it's not actually. But I would still use that zone because there is no zone on the 15. So I'd use the current daily low Below it, you got clean traffic to the left. So I just wait patiently for it to retest the support, begin to pop below it for options to sell it. Moving away from that level just now, so further options will be sells below 21.32 roughly. I want to pull back to that point there, waiting a price action catalyst, and to consider buying it. Kind of a similar scenario to what I mentioned before in GU and UJ. Probably want to wait for a while to close back bullish. Maybe not. The thing is, it's a little bit too far gone to be buying at the minute, unless you were to wait for it to once again pop back down to this support and do similar sort of make a similar sort of move as to what it's making now. Form a bit of structure back at the support, high lows, high highs on the 15-minute time frame. As it begins to pull away, it could be an option. Otherwise, going to be a bit difficult buying it to resistance here, because it was more, as soon as you break 21.33, you're running straight into more resistance to the left. Yeah, to be honest, I'd just be playing between 21.32 and 21.22 at the minute. That's basically it. And below it, potentially above it. I don't trade it personally, so. Real like David Phillips sent all good, mate. Good on you for, you know, being on stream and being interested in this sort of thing, to be honest though. Well done, mate. Glad to have you here. It's all good. Again, I get used to being called Jason all the time anyway, so all good. Alrighty guys, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. Well done to anyone who was on the stream early doors to catch that gold buy. Nice quick win on gold today. Well done to anyone else who's been in gold trades. It was a really good day for me. 2 gold wins, 2 big wins. Well, 1 really big win and 1 very solid win. Guys, you know the drill. If you'd like to know more about what I do, links you can find TikTok on my profile page, and YouTube, you can have a look. It's all in the description down below. I'll be back tomorrow. See you guys at about the same time as today. So about 7:45 AM UK time, 3:45 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. 5 minutes later on TikTok, I generally start it. I have the intro stream warming up for 5 minutes on YouTube, and then I click across on both. Alrighty guys, take care, trade safe. My members, I will see you guys in a few hours from now for NY. Till then, cheers guys. Catch you later.
Thank you, man.
Bye mate.
Bye.
See you guys.